you feel like you either might be struggling with, or against specific comps you feel like it might be tough to play against Widow, because having a Widow Soldier hero pool obviously implies that you're susceptible to sort of some dive comps and some Tracer comps. So what do you struggle with the most, do you think?
It's definitely when I feel pushed out, like especially on first point here, when they have like point or they're capturing point and I'm trying to recontest, it's hard trying to find the angles.
Right. Yeah, we'll see obviously how it goes here. It's gonna be tough depending on map, because when you're playing someone like Widowmaker who's so Sotline heavy, and whose, again, power comes down with what can you actually visually see on the character, it's gonna be tough when your retakes are this narrow Ash choke here, or this narrow area here. Ideally, I guess there's a few sort of things you can maybe try and do with it. So of course, when you're playing Widow, you're never gonna be contesting point. So what you can do is just peek really late when your team's contesting point, and that should hopefully give you some kind of angle pressure, either through here or on top of the cafe, or ideally you never get to a position to where that needs to happen. I'm sure you might have heard, especially against Winston Tracer, which seems that they're running, and Moira too. I'm sure you might have heard the saying, "You can't live a good dive," which is a saying taken from Capitology. And it's fairly true, or it's especially true when you're playing Widowmaker, where once you're getting dove, or once they have the space, it becomes really hard to recontest it, unless your tank does something crazy, or some sort of ultimate sort of use to sort of retake space. But yeah, we'll see here. But yeah, of course, Simphasight can come into that as well. But yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay. Distance is fine so far. Fine. Fine, yeah. Where's your Venom? I see it? Where is it? I saw you have it placed down somewhere.
I don't know where it is.
Because it says, okay, for some reason the replay code does not want to show it. But yeah, normally, I mean, we can go back to where you literally like played the game. Because it should be ideally on the left flank, but you already have it up. Want something bro place it in spawn. Bro place it. Great. Oh my days, you place it in spawn. Oh my, that's why I couldn't see it. Okay, actually, you still can't see it in spectator overlay, but that's okay. Yeah, perhaps don't put Venomine in spawn against dive comps. I hate to say it's not like Venomine's the best ability in the game. In fact, it's one of the worst abilities in the game. But I have the saying whenever I talk about Widow, you don't want to die because you didn't place Venomine down. Well, you don't want to fucking die because Tracer didn't get hit by Venomine and you're gonna get spammed up by it. So yeah, just replace it in mid fights. Nothing crazy. Okay. If anything, I'd say I'm being nitpicky here as well, right? But I'll grapple back to here immediately just to get the cooldown back going, because again, like, you need to prevent your whole mindset on the character is to hard prevent the Winston Trace from going in. So yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Don't really mean to drop there, but
yeah, I was thinking like why, because of course you want to poke up the Winston and whatnot. Again, this is also why the Venomine is so important, because I assume Trace has gone around like this, right? How do you put the Venomine here, or maybe even somewhere inside this room here too? Then she's only got one path to reach you, and you would have been again able to know that at that sort of period of time. Now it's gonna look really tough, even though they haven't actually dove yet, just by how the sort of space control that they have. Like, Tracer is fully staged, and you can't really clear her out actively. And Winston's also decently staged too, in a position to where he's full HP and can actually jump you. The only upside here is the fact that he hasn't got bubble. So right now, you kind of need to have an opening to either kill or force up the Winston, get him to 1 HP, or forcing up the Tracer and getting out to 1 HP too. Again, that would have been easier said than done had you had some kind of Venomite up to mark Tracer. But this looks really tough, because he's going to jump you. You could have seen that coming. And Tracer's still behind you. Oh, that's looking rough. Okay, recall's forced out. Yeah, you died there, right? Like, you were going to die there before they even dived, right? Which is kind of the important point. There's nothing you can really do to sort of live the actual dive itself. I mean, there's some kind of grapple micro, surely, right? But I guess the key point is Venomine there actually would give you a heads up. And then also, potentially, again, getting a headshot on the Winston when bubble went down. Dropping down there is also not good micro, because again, Winston's not going to dive you if he's half HP, which gives you more time to sort of look at the Tracer and force her out. It doesn't help as well that you're running a very squishy backline comp with double flex. So yeah, you're hard playing for disruption and prevention. Which means when you get dove, it's looking rough. If anything here, I think there might be an argument here as well. If anything here, honestly, there might be an argument that you might want to push the Tracer here. Which looks scary in theory, right? But I think the whole point is you don't need to kill the Tracer, but scare her off such that, again, she can't join in the dive. So whether that's getting a body shot off, getting some SMG shots off, or, again, having some sort of Venomine placed there, right? So, again, this one's okay, right? Again, having some sort of Venomine either tossed towards Tracer or zoning out in some kind of position, that would have been quite nice. But yeah, of course, face hacking a Tracer is not ideal. And we don't want to be in this exact position here. So, this looks really rough. Okay. In short, the key thing there is having more of a proactive mindset when it comes to forcing out Winston Tracer. That's the only thing I can really say there, because you're not living a Winston Tracer dive on Widowmaker. Okay. Let's see here. Second point is going to be a lot nicer, I will say. This is just way harder for the Winston Tracer to actually reach you. Okay. Why keep this angle here?
Well, I guess it's because they don't know I'm there yet, really, unless the Tracer pinged me.
Yeah.
I could grapple up top, but I also kind of wanted to save my grapple.
Yeah, okay, yes, I can get why you want to stay unscouted. I think that's a sort of a fair point. Yeah, because my thing here is, like, again, I just want the cooldown to be back up over time, and also the LOS you have here is so limited because it's only at doorway. You're kind of banking on the Ashe peeking here. And of course they can ping you, so it's like, that removes the unscouted aspect of it. Okay. Okay, I don't know why Ashe is sort of peeking you here, but sure. Fine. Okay. Okay. And I feel like some of these kills are gonna come down to, like, the fact that you're playing in a rank where people don't ping or people aren't very aware where people are at. So you're gonna get some of these free kills where in principle, even though again the result is good, i.e. you get a kill by staying on the angle there, it's probably as soon as you see the Winston go onto you, or look at you, it's probably ideal to go back to high ground here. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Sure, fine. A little bit. Fine. I fear this is gonna be a very rolly kind of second point defensive because it is very hard to attack this on the red team side. Angle is fine. Sure. Okay, where can you place Venomine?
Probably near the elevator.
Yeah, right, so like, essentially when you're coming up the elevator, just put it like here or put it underneath like here, for example, so they can't break it when they peek right side. Yeah, like something like that, just a small Venomine touch. Okay, angle's fine though, looking Winston. Sure. Okay, fine. Sure, right, I actually don't mind you fully dying there. I wouldn't actually, of course I would have preferred you to couple the high ground after the Ashe kill, but all that damage into the Winston there is really important because he can never dive you. He's constantly in cover, low HP, whereas Ashe is the only one that can peek you, so I think that's relatively fine there. But yeah, a little bit of couple micro. Alright, so let's see here. Why do you pop
That was a
sights?
mistake. Yeah, I tried to press W.
Okay. Feels like a Cafe sights where you just popped it for no reason. Okay. So what do you think? Okay, what's the issue here?
Well, I grapple shot basically nothing.
Right.
And I failed the grapple shot because I hit some sort of wall.
Yeah, some sort of like geometry thing. Grapple shots, the only time you see them, and the thing is, this is kind of the thing, right? Because if you spec at any Widow, any Widow in pro play or any Widow in high rank, they're going to go for a ton of these grapple shots. But the reason why is because they're not playing Widow against dive comps. And no one does this. No one's playing Widowmaker into Winston Tracer and Hollywood Second. No one in their right mind's doing it. The reason why you see grapple shots is because A, it's a mobility tool, and B, it gives you an advantage against sniper duels, right? If you're having a sniper duel against Widowmaker, or against Freya, or against any sort of hit scan that's fairly immobile, grapple shot is a huge advantage, because they can't predict your own positioning because you're moving through the air, whereas your crosshair, again, if you know where they are, it's going to stand still. You know exactly where they are, whereas because you're grappling in the air, you're fluctuating in terms of your position, so it's harder to hit you. That's why grapple shot becomes really powerful in Soccer Royale. But again, that context there is important because Otherwise, there's no reason to do grapple shots, right? Because now you're a perfect dive target for Winston Tracer. And it should have been fairly obvious from this sort of angle here. But like even back when you start playing back to the left here, like this is you just use infosight, right? You know roughly where they're at. Like this is A, not a great position to be in, but B, by proxy of you knowing where they're at, you should know that if you grapple up, you're gonna get dove, or you should get dove on paper here. I expect you to dive here, even though your Tracer gets like a 2-man pulse. Like grapple shot's kind of crazy. And once he jumps you, you might not die for this still, because again your Tracer's like the goats. Someone died for it, right? The grapple shot is like really not great. Why did you go for it in the first place?
I think I was just trying to pick off maybe the Ashe or Moira, but it was just a awareness thing. I didn't really know where they were perfectly.
Thing is, I actually don't mind going for grapple shots. Like if you somehow live a dive, I mean, again, if you'll love a dive if it's really scuffed or bad, or again if it's the Tracer struggles to reach you. But if you do live a dive and the divers are like not threats to you anymore, sure, go for a grapple shot. I don't mind that, right? You can grapple to a different position, grapple up in a building, look for the Ashe. That's all reasonable, right? But yeah, I would not do it before a dive. Okay, let's see here. Alright. Okay. So again, the angles you're taking pre-fight are like really kind of interesting. So like I don't really, this angle's fairly okay here because you've got a ton of distance and you can sort of foresee people coming here and people coming down main here. Do you think what's the downside of this position, do you think?
Well, I guess just because of like how far back it is, it also means I'm far away, so my Kiriko can't really like TP to me.
Exactly, right? Like you become far. You're essentially out of LOS from your backline, which is kind of again one issue here potentially. But barring that, I don't think what you're playing is like it's a gross mistake. Like if wall goes on top of you, you can grapple to your Kiriko. You should be fairly okay. I mean, what I don't want to see is she TPs to you and then you grapple away and then you guys kind of just ping pong away from each other. But yeah, we'll see here. Because this angle's fairly okay. Shots are fine. Okay, hopefully no traces to the left. I think you do, roughly. Okay. Jaw. Fine. Yeah, you need Venomine. Okay, so first off, you need Venomine on this building because, again, it should be predictable to you, very predictable. That Trace is going to double blink on top of you and try and get on top of you, right? But more than that, where should you maybe move to? Right about, like, after you know Trace is roughly here.
Probably just move further back, like closer towards my spawn.
Right, so like there's a few things you can do, right? Either, again, put the Venomine here and then back off this building and then drop off so she doesn't know exactly where you are. Then you can grab her back to your team. Or just grab her back right now. Like, grab her back literally right now, and then put the Venomine on this doorway, SMG her, and she will get forced out. Or it'll be a lot harder for Tracer to come and get you. So in other words, I guess the key word I want to get across here is disruption. How can you disrupt this Tracer as much as physically possible, so it's as scuffed as possible when Tracer dives you? I think that's the key point I want to get across here. I use prevention, or I use this sort of dive framework, this PAR thing, or SPAR that I use quite a lot. Scout, prevention, absorb, rotation. But I was actually thinking the other day of changing the prevention to disruption because you can't directly poke out Tracer. And if she's good at the game, she will take angles that you can't directly see, or she'll take angles or path in a way that again you can't directly shoot or prevent. So disruption becomes the really important thing. And I think the Venomine here, creating more distance, making it more laborious and making it more of a guess game for the Tracer is really important here because the second she goes on top of you, again you're dead. Like, you're trying to live this, and that's, I think, kind of the mistake here. You can't live a Tracer. You just can't. Or again, if it's a good Tracer dive, I should preface. If it's a bad Tracer dive and it's scuffed and it's been disrupted, you can live that. But again, if there's no disruption on this Tracer, if you can just willy-nilly blink onto you with no worry in the world about where you're playing, you're going to die. And this is kind of the thing is, and this is exactly what happens, which is unfortunate. Again, maybe if you were in a lower elo, you could probably get away with it. Or maybe, again, if you were in a lower elo, you hit a shot into the Tracer and you get a reforce, or whatever the case may be. But 9 times out of 10, you will die against a good Tracer. Okay. This is fine. I like the rotation there a lot. I think you hear the ball Tracer, right? I would assume. And then you rotate to the right side, which I think is pretty smart. I think again, just staying on stealth, and they don't exactly know where you're coming from. You're creating distance. Yeah, I'm all fine with that. Fine. I gotta be very careful about repeating that. There we go, good. Run away. Okay. Of course, just put Venomine when you're coming out. Again, it's a small thing, right? It's not gonna make a big difference to the ball, but just get into the habit of doing it, because I have not seen a single Venomine been detonated in 5 minutes of this game so far. Okay. Okay. Sure. Fine, nice. And again, that grapple shot becomes reasonable because this person is dead. There's no pressure on you, so you're free to do your grapple shots. Okay. Okay. You can go top right, hopefully. You can go be Eliari here maybe, I don't really mind which one. That's fine as well. Sure. Oh, Venomine the elevator. Okay, sure. Okay, so I've been working with awareness a lot with players for the past 2 weeks. And there's a saying, or not a saying, but a thing that I have, which is whenever you do an action, or whenever you use a cooldown, look around you. That's your time to regain awareness. And it's mostly been on Lucio and Brig. So often I say, Brig, after you pack someone, look around. After you whip shot someone, look around. And I guess on Widowmaker, it's after you do this grapple shot, look around and Venomine the elevator, right? It's kind of why I said, literally, the second you got to high ground, Venomine the elevator. Because that's your time to regain awareness. You could also Venomine here, that's fine-ish as well. That's fine to do as well. But because it's further away, and because you're naturally looking down this sort of straight here in your LOS, I can think that elevator is kind of the obvious one. But again, it needs to be aware of where people are coming from. Okay. Luckily that's your Tracer, not their Tracer. The ball is your favourite there, funnily enough. Fine. Okay. Alright. Okay, sure. Sure. Fine. And that looks quite nice, right? You were perfectly ready. Again, the only thing was Venomine, right? But you were perfectly ready to, again, move away from the Tracer. I think you're playing in a position that she was, where is she at? She's probably roughly in the middle of the, yeah, she's roughly on top of here right now. Like, she's very far away from you, so you haven't got to out-rotate her just yet. I think if she staged here a little bit more, like if she staged, like, around about in this sort of building, or came over to, like, the prisons, or this kind of area, then I would grapple away already to prevent that from happening. But because you're so far away, you haven't really got to do that anyways. This is kind of enough distance to be able to disrupt the Tracer, so I'm fine with this so far. Again, it's just, the Venomine is the only thing I'm crying about. Okay. Okay. Fine.
No one can hide.
So that's all okay? Alright. Fine shot there. Okay, sure.
Merci.
Okay. Fine. That one I don't mind as much because the ball's going on top of you, so you're kind of avoiding the ball while trying to get a grapple shot off at the same time. That one's less egregious. You might not be getting killed here. Yeah, it's a bit of just not getting killed. That's relatively fine. I think that the sights are fine. Grapple there was maybe okay. I think it's slightly greedy because again, ball's not going on top of it, or ball's not being fully cleared out yet, but I'm not gonna cry about it too much. Actually I wanna see, where do you see ball? I thought you'd go for the shots. Tracer dies.
Merci.
See ball. Okay, maybe that's slightly less reasonable because he hasn't been cleared out yet. So I'd probably clear him out first and then go for the grapple shot afterwards. Yeah, small thing. Okay. Alright. In fact, why do you go for the shot hit still, even though you see ball down main?
Well, I feel like when I saw him and I heard him rolling, I feel like he'd used his grapple.
Right, yeah.
So then I kind of wanted to go for a trade.
Right. Yeah, what do you mean trade in terms of the fact that your Tracer dies?
Well, just the fact that I feel like Ball's already on top of me. He has like, he might have grapple, so I feel like I'm dead either way because I'm not near my supports.
I think so. Here's the thing, right? Whenever to give a similar case of what I want to describe here, I've not usually described playing like double flex comps like Ana Zen or Ana Kiri comps into what's it called, brawl comps, for example, like the traditional like Ryan, Bap, Lucio kind of thing. And usually a thing that those comps can do is strongly like just rush into a single support player. And what I often say is that when you're playing double flex or Ana Kiri, or like Ana Kiri Ball, into like Ryan, Bat, Lucio kind of thing, one of your flex supports will die. Like it's guaranteed to die. But the question is, how expensive can you make that death, right? If you're playing Ana or you're playing Zen into Ryan, Bat, Lucio, you're gonna probably die. But you need to make it as expensive as possible and as laborious as possible so your team can trade up equal kills and your death isn't that meaningful. So what I'm saying here is, how can you, if you think you can die, if you think you're gonna die to what's his name, Ball here, how can you make his death as laborious as possible, as long as possible, as costly as possible? And I think there's two options here, right? Either you grapple as far away as possible, right? So yes, he has to come and chase you. He has to come and spawn to come and get you. And again, it's as costly as possible. You can even grapple back to Liaria too, if you know where she's at. Or you can grapple up to the high grounds, where it's harder for the ball to reach you because he's already used grapple, right? And by mechanics and whatnot, Bull can sort of do some tech on this high ground, whereas again, with grapple, less reasonable for him to do tech to reach you on the high ground here. So if you feel like you're gonna die on Widowmaker, don't just accept your death. Try and make it as costly as possible for the enemy team. And again, you can still hit a shot while you're grappling up here anyways onto Cassidy. So you can look for a trade there if you feel like you're gonna die. But yeah. Okay. Let's see here next fight, because that's gonna get capped. Maybe? Hang on. It's gonna get capped, yeah. Honestly, I might just go back and spawn because I don't want you to die here and get staggered, but we'll see.
I was thinking that like right here, but then I was like already walking out and I felt like...
Because now you're gonna get cooked. Oh, 30 HP. 26 HP. God almighty. Can't get close. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, this is very interesting to me, right? Because why do you drop down here?
I guess just to... Well, I like that sight line, the really long one. And also it's just to get close to my Ilari.
Right.
Just for heals.
Who can reach you on the enemy team?
Really, like, only the ball.
Is Bull dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead, right? So, like, you can actually greed this a little bit more than you think you can. Obviously, you're 26 HP, right? So, a body shot by Cassie's gonna basically kill you. But I think you can... It's worth it to stay on this high ground here long term for your own positional reasons. Again, you can put, like, a mine here if you're that scared of ball coming back, right? But I think you can stay here, get a little touch of healing. Your supports can come and get you anyways. I'm sure Iliari can, like, fire her beam down this sort of straight to come and heal you, or she can go to hit this high ground, or whatever the case may be. Kiri can TP to you, whatever the case may be. Or you can just passively get healing back. But yeah, I wouldn't give up the position here, because I don't think... Like, sure, this long sight line's, like, fine, right? But, of course, you can get the exact same angle from here. And you can maybe, again, if you when the ball's dead and your team's pushing up a little bit more, you can maybe rotate to here and try and get an angle. But yeah, I think, again, future-wise for your own positioning, I would like for you to stay top left. Okay. SMG and Cassidy from like 20 meters away, 50 meters away. Okay. Okay.
Very well.
Okay, so where's Ball Tracer right now?
I know the ball's left side. Tracer, I believe, is also... Oh no, right side, right side.
Yes.
Oh, right side.
Right, so
Yeah.
So Tracer double blinked or triple blinked across to the right side a few seconds ago, and Bull just rolled to the right side here, literally just now. So hopefully, again, you've got a planned retreat path, either up this high grounds, and then again you can make it costly. But we'll see. And hopefully, I would like to see a sight line down this sort of direction here, so you can predict and again disrupt their dive when it comes onto you. That's not looking like it's going to be the case. I mean, I don't think Tracer's not going to go directly onto you here, but I still would like a peek here, just so you can see what's going on. Even I don't know what's going on here. Cass is up there. Yeah, he's doing things. I think Tracer. I see your Tracer. Right? I think she's coming up the stairs because I did see her go right side eventually. Oh, she's up right now. Yeah, yeah, I missed her. There she is. So she's still right side here. So I can just be a little bit aware of that. Okay, so I glance. Okay. Okay. You really don't want to peek right side. Okay. 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 Okay, sure. My shots. Okay. Nothing crazy there, but why were you so adamant in sort of keeping this main angle when you know ball tracers to your rights?
I mean, besides like distance, I feel like I just didn't know it was an angle. Like I felt like it was way too compressed for me to actually see anything.
Right, because you got it's a very narrow angle. Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. I think still at the least I would still have a quick glance. It's not like I'm saying to hold down your LOS down this angle the entire time. But again, a Venomine up here, and just some sort of, so you can get some vague awareness on what's going on this angle, would have been quite nice. Because the main angle does give you better LOS, obviously. But yeah. Okay. And yeah, that's relatively fine. I think, yeah, Trace is down main right now. With left side. And again, I feel like you're so... You could have ignored where Trace is playing right now. And I think again, that blinks to the left side there. I can put a Venomine here, or something like that. Have your crosshair on this sort of corner right now. Or something like that, so you can again predict where Trace is going to move and prevent it from happening. But yeah. Or you can even out-rotate it, right? If you see ball coming in like this and you know Trace is to the left side, you can grapple up here. And even though this is a very aggressive angle, if Trace is on low ground, she can't reach you. If ball's committed to grapple, he can't reach you. And again, you get like a really nice angle on the backline over here. I don't want to rely on good mechanics, i.e. you hitting this really nice shot into the Tracer for you to be able to live this. Because frankly, again, it's not the best sort of engagement or cover usage for the Tracer there. But yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. You might need to touch this. Yeah, I don't mind the grapple there. Last minute touch, sure. Some G, sure. Fine. We're gonna die there, yeah. Can't have to touch. I don't mind that fully. That's relatively okay. Okay, are you up in the cap? Maybe, maybe not. C9, that's fine. You're going sort of touch, fine. And that's cap. Okay, we'll see here a little bit. Soldier on attack, alright. I do want to see
it. To swap.
Yeah. They asked you to swap?
Yeah.
Did they give any reason?
Just like Widow into Ball Tracer.
Right.
And I was thinking of staying, but like also at the same time, I may as well just try Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fairly, like, somewhat... it wasn't like you're doing bad on Widowmaker. Just, again, it's super hard to clear out a Tracer ball. And then on some parts of the map, too, it's hard to out-rotate them. Of course, there's some... I think on second point, like, there are some options to out-rotate, right? So, again, when you're standing here, you can out-rotate by going here or going here, like I mentioned prior. On third point defense... And I often say, I'm not sure if I said this to you already, right? But normally, when against flankers, there's two things you can do. You can clear them, or you can out-rotate them. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to pick the out-rotate choice, because your character can't physically be a presence and clear them directly, because you'll die for it. So again, when Tracer goes onto you, like when you're playing right about here, and you see Tracer go onto you, this would classify as an out-rotation. Because you're moving away from Tracer in a position to where they can't reach you anymore. Same thing with the ball when he commits grapple onto you as well. I think that's kind of the key visual cue is the grapple itself. Because again, he can't. He's already used a cooldown, so you can't go onto you. But yeah, that's kind of the key thing. And of course, Venomine as well. But yeah, we've seen some out rotations you could have potentially done on second, third point as well. I think when Tracer's here as well, like when she's on the side ground and you're playing here, this will count as an out rotation as well, either dropping and grappling away. So that's probably the only one you can do, or dropping like this and then grappling like that. That could also work as well. But yeah, I think actually constantly moving against dive is the really sort of, I guess, key idea I want to get across. But yeah. Okay, we'll look at the mid tanko, because I like mid tank more. We'll see here. Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm the soldier.
There we go. Alright. Okay, is there... I will say this as well. I thought it was Captain Passion Hazard. Is there any time you pick the Stimpack perk?
I actually picked the Stimpack perk on Circuit just because I feel like I don't really need the speed.
Okay,
And
yeah, I see that, okay.
Maybe every now and again I'll pick the Stimpack if I have Mercy, just because like I'm probably not going to be going on any huge flanks with Mercy.
Fair enough, that makes sense, yeah. I think Circuit's not one I particularly thought of, but that does kind of make sense. I think on third point it can be a little bit more beneficial because it's to tap the sprint because again it's a bit wider of a map. Yeah, I think circuit's probably the only case or the best case map for having this impact. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Don't tell me you're gonna go through the train. Don't go through. Okay, I wouldn't even bother honestly. Just look at your hands. Look when he's. If you get this kill on the Zen, I'm gonna cry. Because then it's gonna be garbage if you get the kill onto him. But I would let your hands walk and then try and rotate around the left side of the map. The fact you almost get that kill is insane. Okay, the ram just walks on top of you. Sure. I do want to see the opportunity cost here though, like where you could have maybe moved to once your house goes in. Where's your house right now? Your house is right there. Let's back it up a little bit. Look at your house. Yeah, I say literally like when he stages and when he's starting the stage, that's when I'd be moving around a little bit more. So maybe you can move to here, shoot, maybe move to here, shoot, and then maybe move around a little bit more. But yeah, I would not even give a second of thought to contesting carts or contesting train. Okay. Not too much that you can do after that ram just kills your backline. Okay. That's not exactly the time to rotate. Angle is fine. Sure. You have distance, you have cover. Sure. I think that's relatively fine. The far has to take a semi-risk to come and get you. I don't think you had your health pack or your heal pack there in time. No, you did. Okay, you just didn't use it. Yeah, how come you didn't use your pack here?
I was probably just unaware. I probably thought that I'd used it.
Right. Because I think the goal is to look for a trade, which again you're in a prime position to be able to do that right now. So you can either mind you staying here and looking forward to into the far, or again running through and looking forward to into the Zen. That's relatively fine to me. But yeah, okay, we'll see here.
Yeah, that fight was quite shaky, but this fight's a little bit better.
Alright, we'll see here. Fine. I need to rotate. Rotate. Spamming our ram, no wall. I need you to move. I really need you to move. Because to me right now, you could be playing Cassidy, you could be playing Ashe, and it's no difference to me what you're doing on the character right now. And I think again, after you see Maywall, and after you see like a ram form come out, and after you see this guy on 1 HP, are they threats to you? Is the enemy frontline a threat to you right now?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So you can move, right? Move around. Actually rotate, right? Especially considering your Ram's taking aggro here too. I need you to move. Not play down main here, right? Also, nice saying from Capitology, get off the corner. I do not want to see you swinging around this corner and hugging it that closely. So get off it, play the angle wide, and then run around the rest of the map. Because you've got an opening to do so right now. We're shooting Ram block. Try and shoot Mei, it's a small thing, but try and shoot Mei instead of Ram. It sounds like a forward thing to say, but in Brawl Mirrors, it's really important for that, not just for your own character, but in Ram Mei Mirrors, it was really important to force up Mei Cryo in Ram Mei Mirrors. You're playing Queen into Ram Mei, it's really important. Small thing. Okay, found what you're saying there. Sure. That's why you get off the corner. Please run around left side, thank you. Better late than never. Okay, I think you don't know where the far is, because I think she's directly into you right now. I fear. Yeah, she is. So I don't think you're just not that aware of where far is coming at you right now. And honestly, she could die bomb you right now if she knows where you are. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Nice helix though. A little bit, I don't know what I can say, right? But again, it's like, after you get to this angle, right? And after you hit the Farah, like, look around a lot more. Like, I would just have your head on a swivel and look around for the Farah. Because again, you're just not that aware of her at that period of time. And fortunately, she's not that aware of you as well, so you get the jump on her. Okay. I don't quite know why you run that far around, but that's fine. And that's okay. Sure. Fine. Okay. What might be my only issue with playing this wide from the corner?
I guess just
Do you know where
headshot
Zen's playing?
Mei. Oh yeah, he's playing in the room.
Yeah, Zen's roughly playing in the room, right? What I don't want happening is him charging a 5-0 and peeking the corner and doming you. And also, as you sort of alluded to, the Mei doming you with a headshot hit too, right? So I just spam the Mei from here, force them out. Look at your Has. Where's your Has right now? I've got no clue. Literally, he's down main here, right? Force up the front line, and then you can walk forward a little bit more. Because again, what I don't want happening is you playing overtly aggressive and getting caught out. Fortunately, the Zen is busy rotating the high ground, or the room above you, so he's not busy contesting you here at all. Fine. Fine. Yeah, and that's what I don't want happening, essentially here.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want happening here. You're getting a little bit too greedy, and honestly, you probably should have died there. That's kind of crazy. They're a little bit greedy twice against Zen. Okay, we'll see here. I don't mind playing here. I'm getting ready for the retouch. I honestly prefer playing here instead because you have a wider angle to this choke here, and you can deepen it a lot more. You still got cover on this side of the on this side of the fire, onto this side of the fire truck too. So yeah, that's why I slightly prefer the fire truck angle because you can just go deeper into it. Whereas some high ground is a bit harder to do. But yeah, small thing. And also you can't see into the doorway too. If you can see if you're playing here, you can see a little bit more into the doorway and a little bit more into this doorway here too. That's why I'd prefer you to play to the right side. Okay. Prize is gonna be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Door. Okay. Okay. Fine-ish. My main concern is what you can see. So I want to put the camera here instead. I'll put the camera here instead before when they touch, and then see what you potentially could have gotten on this angle. Run onto ram touch. Ram touches now. What goes down? You can still spam May, but I think the key idea here is doing what your soldier's doing, which is deepening this angle and then sort of zoning off these characters here, and maybe even deepening this angle to over here if you want to catch stragglers. If you want to catch stragglers behind, because right now you can't. The only thing you can see is the Ram May on point. You can't see anyone in here or anyone into this back area here too. So that's why I kind of wanted you to play to the right side of the fire truck. Kind of what your soldier's doing right now. Because you're gotta get a slightly better angle. Yeah, that could have been quite a nice to play to the right side there. Why do you play on high gun here from the get-go? Is it just like you think playing on point is enough?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it was just a point of high ground where I could like pop my visor and try and zone them, but as I was on the angle, I was actually thinking, I don't know why I'm like stacked with my BAP, really. It's kind of like more of a, it's not really even an angle, it's more just like down main, almost, I feel like.
Right.
So I was thinking of it at the time, but I'd already committed, so I was just worried about rotating.
Right, I think this is kind of it's a very safe angle. Like if you're gonna get some value here, you're gonna get it guaranteed. But of course, against Ram May, you don't want to be shooting those targets, particularly when there's a Zen Pharaoh on the board. Ram especially, obviously, because you're shooting a Ram block, which is getting no value. And this Pharaoh right now needs to be getting cleared in some kind of shape or form. And again, had you been a little bit more attentive or a little bit more aware of who's playing here or who's playing here, maybe you can actually catch that Pharaoh and control this angle and start dealing actual damage to the Ram May. I think your soldier's kind of doing it here to the greatest extent that she can do. But yeah, like you are not getting much value down on this angle here, I will say. Okay. Yeah, slight Prefight positioning there in terms of again where you want to move to instead. Okay. And you can see how tough that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here, because you do eventually cap here on first point attack. Alright. Sure, free kill. That's probably going to secure the point there, honestly. Run, run, run. You are very slow. You are very slow. Like again, I want to sort of have this sort of because whenever you get an advantage, right, like of any kind, you either greed it too much, or you kind of ignore the advantage and you play extremely slow. So we kind of saw again here, when the Maywall was used and the Ram was like 1 HP, and when your Hazard was going in, you were very slow to rotate to the left side here and actually push the angle pressure. But when we saw here, against the Zen and the May, I think once you killed the Pharah and got a kill, and once the May was half HP, you greed this position very close, and then you could have gotten traded by the Zen. You also greeded this position against the Zen here too a bit later. So it looks very weird to me. It's like whenever you have some kind of advantage of any kind, whether it's a kill, whether it's some kind of cooldown trade, whether it's some kind of HP trade, any kind of advantage, you either don't push it at all, or you push it too far. Is what I'm kind of seeing so far. which is kind of unfortunate. And then of course the Prefight positioning thing on Soldier there. Okay. Sure. But like, why? Okay. They have negative space right now. Why are we going all the way around to the left side here when we could just go cut through the building and play here instead? And no one's gonna come for you. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that rotation to the left side there. It's just too long. Yeah, too long. Okay. You're aware of fast, so you're playing a little bit backwards. I don't mind that. Sure. Okay. Fine. Run away. Sure. Fine. Got a angle on Zen. There you go. Right, it's a lot easier. Okay. Sure. Nothing crazy. Alright. One thing I can maybe say there is, instead of cutting through the building, you could actually rotate right side and play the fire truck instead. Just because I think they were down 1 or 2 at that point in time. And they had such little map control that I think you can actually rotate right side. Again, be aware of where your hat is playing to. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Alright. Running, we're running. Okay. Angle is fine. Good distance. Don't mind that. Sure. Sure. Playing running simulator. Okay. Chilling. We're running back. Fine. Okay. Hopefully don't mistime this. Where's your hands right now? He's on height. Okay, showing some aggro. I don't mind this so far. What's my one slight worry about peeking this angle here, maybe, do you think?
Probably the Mei.
The Mei, right? You might get a little bit too close for comfort, get a ward off, and you might die for it. So, again, whenever you are forced to do these like really aggressive close fight plays, what might you want to do? What could you do instead, or what could you potentially add to your flank that makes it a little bit safer? How could you make this flank safer?
Probably crouching.
Right,
Just
so
not making my run loud.
making sure you're unscouted by crouching. What else?
Opening with Helix.
Yeah, that could be
Maybe.
part of it. Not exactly what I thought, but I actually don't mind that idea. Opening with Helix could be reasonable. What else? What about the timing of this angle?
Well, it would have to be when well, it's high risk, so you'd want to probably peek it late.
Yeah, pretty much as late as you can without not getting value, right? So literally let the Mei walk, let them do things because you're on a really aggro angle here and you're playing for that kind of value on this flank. So hopefully the timing is what I'm going to be looking at here mostly. Actually, I'm going to put overlay. Actually, I'll keep it off because I don't want you getting wall hacks against Mei. We'll see. Buddy. Yeah, this is where it's not looking good. I think you're gonna you just unlock the perk, so you hopefully can take it and then run away in time, but this is not looking good, and I would expect you to die here. Oh my god. Run! Oh my god. How are you alive? Yeah, it's just the timing of it. It's just what it is. And I think you know that this part of the map here, and this is where we get into the nuance of Soldier, where this part of the map is extremely tough. Well, not extremely, but it's very tough for Soldier. Because you've only got one angle to take. You can't slide up here like Soldier and take this angle here. I think you can Helix up it, but regardless, it's not worth it, basically. It's not worth to put Helix into this angle. So you've only got really one angle to take here, which isn't ideal when you're playing against a Mei who can actually control this room here. And look how much aggro you're taking, right? You should not be taking this amount of aggro, and if you should be taking this aggro, I need to be running away a lot quicker, and your Has and the rest of your team need to be pushing forward and getting value onto these characters here too. But they're not, because they're not engaging right now. So you need to take a chill pill. AFK here, right? Do nothing. And let your Has do the work. Or let your team do the work. Let this guy pop spikes, and then you can walk in afterwards. Let your Baptiste take a good angle here and draw some aggro. Let your Ashe coach get up to the high ground here, force the Father to look at her, and then maybe afterwards you can start running through the right side of the room. The timing there's just way too early. And the thing is, I could already tell it was going to happen before it even happens. The timing would be the main concern there. Not particularly ideal. Now, the rest of your team's going to get involved there. Yeah. There is one other angle you can maybe take, which is running down underneath, but of course that's a risky rotation to make, so I'm not going to bother suggesting that for now. Angle is fine. Maybe you can catch the Zen. Helix is reasonable. Fine. Just run to the right, run to the right. Right, who can you see here on your screen right now, after you call the Zen?
the Ram and the Mei.
The Ram and the
which are
Mei,
both
right?
big
So
threats.
run, and you can maybe get walled off here if the Mei's quick enough, right? I think that'll be a good play by the Mei. But you can run as fast as you can, and no one's gonna come and get you. There's no Tracer, there's no Venture, Venture's not even that fast of a character. But there's no extreme mobility that you need to be worried about. So just run to the right, and you have the perk. So, oh my god, oh this is rough. Kind of scary there. Okay, fine. But the sad news is that you could have literally been here with Visor, or you could have been here with Visor, or you could have actually deepened your. You could have gone a full ring around the rosy here, and could have gone to that spawn and popped the Visor here. No, you don't need to pop Visor here, actually. You can just dome the Farah instead, right? But the point being is you can take any array of angles you want had you gone right side. So what made you hesitate to go right?
I actually feel like that's the big issue I have, is just not wanting to really take space that's like almost on their side. It's like similar with do you remember when I had the Samoa VOD with Cassidy? Yeah, rotating further into their spawn. It's just kind of scary, even though there's no reason for it. I just find it scary.
Right.
But if it's my space, it's my space. It's just something I kind of have to improve on.
Yeah.
And be aware of.
I don't think, like, maybe you've got like PTSD about doing. I mean, hell, maybe even the past fight affects your psychology about taking the right side angle here, because last time you took it, it didn't go down that well. But again, that was mainly a timing issue, not a positional issue with where you were actually playing. Or not necessarily a space issue either, right? Of course, this angle here is a lot more open than this angle. Like, this angle here is a lot more open compared to this angle here, right? So maybe that might play a factor in it too. But the bottom line is that against a comp with such low mobility, you can run circles around them. Especially when you're playing Soldier instead of Cassidy. That's the benefit of your character. You're playing the character for the left shift. You're not playing the character for anything else, really, to be honest. Your ult sucks. You've got a little bit of healing, sure, right? But yeah, it's the shift that makes your character broken. To see you not use it is kind of sad. Yeah, of course, if you're playing to like Doomfist or like, I mean, especially Doomfist, I would not go right side here at all. At least for now. Again, you can go right side when Doom like gets forced out or is dead or whatever the case may be. Similar to what we saw in Widowmaker there. But yeah. Okay. And even then, right, like, hold up. Even when you leave here, like, to here, I actually would have just gone all the way around left side. Like, genuinely, I know Farah's spamming it right now, right? But, like, all the attention is right here. Farah is actually, right now, if I go to Farah's POV, right, she's still looking. She does not give two fucks about what's going on here. She's looking at her Ram Mei and looking at the hazard down main, right? That's what she's looking at. She's not thinking about a soldier coming through here. So if anything, I would actually want to rotate here potentially. Again, maybe you open with a Helix to scare Farah, right? And then again, you still control this angle here, which could have been quite nice. Instead of again playing down main and not using your sprint here at all. Okay. Yeah, you can see how claustrophobic this gets. It's really ugly. It may just kind of give you that kill. Yeah, not ideal. Angle is better. Fine. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay, that's up. I get why you're doing the Helix there, but sure. Fine. Sure. Okay, fine. So I don't fully hate you pushing cart, especially when your hazard's dead and whatnot. I think one thought process I could have had here, like, roundabouts. Yeah, where maybe might you want to move to?
Probably closer to like second point attacker spawn. Or third point.
Yeah. So like, I was gonna so right. But dropping down here, running all the way around, and like doing this like crazy ass like flank. I mean, you can't also open here, right? But doing this like crazy ass flank around the sort of room here, and you play really wide. And this is something that's really important here too, because if these guys, even if they know where you're at, if they want to come and clear you out, it's gonna come at a big ass cost. In other words, it's gonna be expensive for them to come and clear you out, because your Baptiste, your Ana, your Ashe, they're gonna get value onto this angle here too, if they want to try and clear you out here entirely. And I think that's kind of a very important point that goes a little bit unnoticed on Soldier 2. It's like, if they want to come and clear me out, it's going to be extremely costly for them to do so. And it's going to be hard for them to do so here as well. Ideally, of course, you wouldn't be getting scouted here, right? That would be gives your angle a nice little bit of a punch here. So maybe you can use this sort of green wall thing as a sort of form to be unscouted and whatnot. Then you can like look at the maid and like decide whether you want to run all the way here or not. But yeah, like, it's an option that's available to you. Hopefully, we'll see what you stage your next fights. Okay. And now you're playing against Widowmaker. It's gonna be even more rough. This is gonna be rough. Okay.
I've been doing a lot of practice. You know, remember when you said about like playing to your strengths and
Right.
looking at their comp? I've been doing a lot of that. That's why I'm playing here, really, against the Widow.
Yeah, we'll see what pans out here eventually. Because again, it would have been amazing. I mean, you're playing. In fairness, you're playing out at a Widow to the west, which is ideal, right? And you're relatively in safety, right? But again, had you been deepening your angle a lot more, like holy shit, you know, like this Widowmaker's gonna be scared the entire time against you. Or she's gonna be having to rotate around constantly. She's not gonna have a fun time. And at the very least, even if you don't kill the Widowmaker, she's not gonna be looking at your team. She's gonna be looking at you and trying to rotate around that. In the meantime as well, you can just LOS out Widow. You can play like here, for example, and spam out the Zen Moira from this angle here too. Widow can't contest you. You get the best of both worlds. So yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, your Ashe dies. Okay. Dodging the shot by the Widow. I think that's partly in you don't know where the Widow's at. I don't think there's exact like a thing I can say that changes that dynamic happening in terms of you not knowing where Widow's at right now. But that shot there by the angle, again, it's just a slight dominoes thing from not actually taking the flank earlier. Okay, let's see here. You really love face tanking Zens, don't you? Yeah, that's not ideal. Okay, sure you can greed this. Fine. Sure. Fine. Sure. Fine. Angle is good, really good rotation. Nice catch off. Nice. That's probably the only time of spin that I've seen so far that's been like actually really good and really well timed. Was that May kill towards the end? Okay, let's see here. Alright, high ground position's okay. MG now, so again you're playing longer sightlines. Okay, sure. I don't fully mind dropping off there. Where might you want to rotate to afterwards too?
Probably where I was when I killed the May.
Yeah, so right through here, zip through here. Again, I think this is really important as well to understand, where because Haz has already used Leap, he can't keep chasing you essentially here. As in, like, he might not know exactly where you are because you're unscouted here, but B, if someone's already used their cooldowns to come and get you, that kind of gives you an opening to be able to rotate around them and look for a deeper angle. So again, that life side angle is fully open to you. Also would have been avoiding the Moira there the entire time, and the Zen here as well, which again would have been quite nice to have. Okay. Okay. And now it becomes really hard to set that left side angle now, right? Because Haz is now playing main, and if you go left side, you're gonna get walled in one shot by Haz. Now it becomes almost impossible. So now your only option really is either to go up high ground again and then try and again bait the Haz to come and get you, or if you're really sneaky about it, you can come through here and look for a deeper angle, which is it's very risky to do. So I'd probably say high ground is probably the best play to go for. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I changed my keybinds for like reload and melee.
What's the keybinds? Oh yeah, is it so what? Melee's on R right now? What's the melee
Melee's on V.
Oh,
It's,
okay, okay.
Back to default. They used to be on my mouse button, but I found it really hard to aim.
Right, okay. Obviously getting done by that may not ideal. You just we're slow on the rotation, really. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. See here. Yeah, sure. Fine. And I gave you that one, but sure. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Sure. Only thing I could say maybe I know you can't get to this normally, but could you maybe potentially helix jump up here and then get to the high ground and then take the elevator all the way up, stay up here? That's the only thing I could say that might be worth doing. It might be a bit scary depending on where Hans is playing, but again, considering that most of the flankers are dead right now, again, now is when to be looking to push up and rotate. Again, making sure you're safe doing it, right? But still. Okay. Small thing, but get up the corner here too when you're drilling Mei. Nothing crazy. Okay. Angle is fine. Okay. Sure.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay. Why pop the visor here? Curious.
I've got you in my sights.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I guess it's because I couldn't see Hazard and I could see all the squishies, so I just kind of wanted to pressure them.
Yeah, I'll not be surprised right now if Hans is too high. He's not top left right now. He's already be setting up right now. But yeah, I don't think visor right now is particularly that useful. At least in this, it's weird because if your Hans was here, I don't fully mind this visor because it stops or prevents the staging from Genji and Hazard. In other words, they kind of need to make a play and go in early. If they want to clear out your if they want to clear out your visor. Otherwise, they're gonna get pushed heavily and lose all the space. But that's gonna be part and down to your Hans, right? Your Hans is gonna be the one doing the clearing, not directly you. So I think if your Hans was here, I don't mind popping the visor, clearing out the Genji, clearing out the Hans, and pushing forward there. I don't fully mind that. But yeah, this visor is kind of pointless because the enemy team can just AFK, keep their angle, and ignore the visor. Thankfully, Genji kind of feeds. And actually, I think you should partially shoot the defect there. But yeah, regardless. Now, high goes onto you, you're gonna die here. Maybe. Probably. You get fairly lucky there. But yeah, you should probably still die there, right? I think part of that comes down to the visor play. And the fact that, again, it would have been nice to zone her and prevent and disrupt the Hans Genji from going in. Rather than, again, just doing it for what kind of seemed to be kind of no reason. But yeah. I also want to see a little bit here, your own positioning early on. Okay. So yeah, you can see has shots to the right side here. And again, I think the important thing is like again getting up to this angle here and either playing high ground, so making it very hard for the enemy Has and Genji to come and reach you for the actual dive itself, or you can be a little bit cheeky, almost play him instead, and try and catch the Zen and whoever you want. But I'd probably say he's slightly more reliable, considering again Zen's got trans. So I'd probably again look to stage here or play here and prevent make it hard for the Genji Has to come reach you. But yeah.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay, your entire team's stacked right now, which is not ideal. Okay. Okay. Let's see here, next fight. Ah, it's gonna be. Do I get cap? Ah, it's gonna be. Okay, that's gonna be attacked on there. Okay, we'll see you on defense.
Hey,
Alright.
acknowledged.
Dick shot, that's fine.
Come get healed.
They're very preemptive, wow. He fuses deflect and you immediately like pop your Baltic field here. I'm not gonna cry about it too much because I get why, but it's like look at your team. Look at the aggro that you might be taking, right? Like this Genji's gonna be taking a huge risk if he wants to go onto you. And if you're that scared about him, get off the corner, right? Do what your Ash is doing, get off the corner. Right, this is the corner. Play distance away from it as much as possible. Even do the fire trick if you're that scared, right? Like get your helix off from spawn and get off the corner. So you've got distance against the Genji. If you're that scared that he might jump you. But yeah.
Come get healed.
Oh, okay. That's just the way there, so it's slightly more reasonable. Sure, you can spam that out, fine. Helix would have been useful there. Yo, Biotic would rather. Okay. Okay. Sure. Right, do you really want to be playing this angle here? Initially.
Not really.
Not really, right? Now I get why, but I think I'd do a little sort of peek here, then you can start breaking the Has wall, because I don't fully know that the Arna's still playing up high on it. I don't exactly know why they're pushing train anyways. But yeah, I think here again you can spam them out if they're pushing train. But yeah, it's a little bit scouting. Again, regaining awareness is the important word I like using, where something happens, i.e. wall's been put down, then you can like regain awareness and look around you. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Fine. You're just too close to the corner here, sadly. Right? Play a little bit off. Play a little bit down here, and you're a little bit tunneled on the enemy, what's her name, Honor here as well. Forget Has can actually one-shot and reach you here. It's something that I see a lot, where soldiers forget that they can get one-shot by Has and leap onto him at any moment's notice. I think a nice visualization that I tell players as well on Has is that imagine he's got like a 20-meter radius around him. Like this. And imagine it's like a red radius almost. Where if you step in that radius, it's a bit like the full radius here, right? It's kind of like extends like to this sort of area here. Like the second you step into that radius, he can come and get you and he can come and one-shot you. I think that's kind of the scary thing about Has. So be wary of that. Because again, if this was like Honor, or sorry, if this was like a Ryan or like a less mobile tank, then I think this becomes a little bit more reasonable. Not ideal. Okay. Alright, let's see here.
I don't quit till the fight's done.
Okay, actually, I want to see where else you could have... So what else could you have done here, actually?
I feel like instead of being here, I could have been like behind the fire truck, maybe on the high ground in the room.
Right, so behind here, this literally would have been probably the most ideal position to be. I always say on Soldier or hit scan generally, I might have said this in the Samura VOD, but you want to play a position, or the question you want to be asking yourself is, am I playing a position such that I'm fine, or I actually want the enemy Hazard, or the enemy Orisa, or the enemy Ramatra to walk on top of me? And if the answer to that question is yes, I feel safe, or yes, I'm fine with that being in that position, that's all fine and dandy. But if the answer is no, you're not going to be in a safe position right there. I think that's the subconscious answer you kind of want to ask yourself is, do I want the Has to come and get me? Do I want the Orisa to come and get me? Do I want the Ramatra to walk on top of me and commit his cooldowns? And if the answer is no, you need to change your position in some kind of way. But yeah. Okay. Again, I think if he already used Leap, I think I'm more fine with you pushing this aggressively. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Not gonna get that touch in time, unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, fine.
I see we get a kill and I try and go for it.
Right.
But...
Yeah, I'm not gonna care about that too much. I appreciate the efforts. Yeah, I think again, it looks, to me it looks indicative of like you're not aware of what your team's doing here. You know, like look at your Has. Like I want you to look at the wall and look at what your Has is doing, right? In fact, I thought he was already here. I didn't actually know he was that far behind, right? If he's that far behind, he's not gonna go for the touch. And now you kind of fucked up your own positioning for the next fights. So again, your overall awareness on what your team's doing is fairly low. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Who knows where that blitz is going? I think she Ajaxed it. Okay. Fine. Sure. Okay. In this situation, it's fine because you can kind of use the doorway, so it fucks up his leap a lot. So I don't actually mind you playing here. Same thing with Winston, where the actual doorways can fuck up your jump on Winston, so I actually don't mind that playing there against the Hazards. Sure. Fine. What other Helix? Okay. Okay, sure. Don't time this too early, I am begging. Okay, it's not that bad of a timing, to be fair, right? Like, the May's not looking at you, she's looking at the rest of your team here. But, again, what my worry is you're going to get forced out from this angle here. And you're going to be forced to leave. So it's not as bad as we thought, or it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because you can probably still recontest the angle here anyways. But yeah. Okay, sure. Right, Alec. This is it, right? We're like, this now is when you want to be taking the angle, but you can't. Like, spikes are down, you want to be getting the best angle you possibly can, but you can't because you went too early. And it's not even that necessarily, right? Because, frankly, you could have already been here from the get-go, and you could have just hid here, right? And peeked when there has wanted to pop spikes, but the timing of it is just way too early. Not ideal. And actually, I would have turned back around here and look at this angle, or you can deepen it again and play an even deeper angle for the next fight and be even more unpredictable, right? And who's gonna know that you're playing in this room here? Nobody. No one in their right minds, because you're fully unscouted. The building covers you, So again, really unfortunate that you don't deepen your angle here at all. Really. We'll see what value you end up getting this fight. Shoot Moira a little bit. It's not much. It's not much. Your Baptiste is probably doing more damage than you, to be honest. Okay. Honestly, Visor against Nanoblade, I mean, you can use any array of ultimates. It's not gonna do shit. Yeah, I would have just kept Visor there. Okay. I'm not gonna cry about it too much though, because it comes into ult tracking, which I don't think is gonna be something that's a big concern for you anyways. I think if it's a single blade, then I think it's more reasonable. But if it's Nano Blade, then he's gonna cut through your team. So, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that. Okay. Okay. Deepen your angle to the right side, fine. Oh, don't know how to say that's unfortunate. Sure. Fine. Whatever movement there. Okay, sure. Fine. Okay. I do want to see again when the time at which you take the angle. What I want to see. A little bit back here.
Roger that.
Yeah, why'd you actually leave from now? You need to leave now.
I feel like it's just because all my team's dead. But also, like, if they're not near me, I can still probably greed it a bit.
Yeah, because this guy, again, he's so far away from you. And I think that's the key difference, is that, again, you're not greeting things when you can, because this guy's not a threat to you, right? At least, right, now he's not, right? Maybe once he gets to here, then I start moving the fuck away, right? But once he's here, I still look for where he's playing at right now. Look for, again, because you want that information.
Understood.
Instead of going all the way backwards. You can still hear him to the right still a little bit there, so maybe a little bit of, again, information about where he's playing. Okay. I mean, it's a decent setup from him, to be fair. And he misses the shot still entirely. Okay. When do you peek it, though? That's my question. When do you peek it? Where's your has? It's not the worst timing in the world. It's not the worst timing in the world. I let your has walk a little bit more. It's like maybe over here. And so the rest of your team can like basically turn and burn the has. Your has can sort of zone this area. And then you guys can turn and burn him. Because the has looks like he's playing really, really aggro right now for basically no reason. He hasn't even got spikes. Not great from the has. Okay. Probably gonna die for that. Guess really low at least. Force coalescence, fine. Good dice. Oh, yeah, you're on L1 dice for it, sure. Fine. And I might deepen the angle there, sure. Fine. Sure. Yeah, not terrible fights. Okay. We'll do a quick summary here at the end. We'll use this wall here as well. Okay. Let's do the first thing. I probably have to say it's something to do with something to do with early fights, about how you treat or your approach to playing in the early fights. So I'll say this. I'll say like disruption in early fight. Again, Widow, that was primarily like, again, Venomines, and then also getting ready to out rotate / escape dives, and then what else on top of that as well? Because early fight, you're either doing not enough or you're doing way too much and you're greeding way too much. That's kind of the thing I want to get across it. So also, I'll rephrase this point. I'll say, greed in early fights, or like, proactivity and safety early fights. And again, it's soldier. Again, very close. As swinging in the open. But Zen. Things like that, because again, you're either not doing enough when you've got an advantage, or you're doing too much. I think that's kind of the second thing I want to sort of highlight here too, where it's like not doing enough. after uh, after an advantage. So again, that can look like you playing soldier and deepening your angle to where they can't chase you. Can't chase. And also adapting playstyle. Comp. And then I'll leave the awareness point at the end. And then I'll say like Widow. Yeah, you did hit some nice shots there. I think that rotation point is probably the most important thing I want to bring up here. Rotation. And then what else on top of that as well? Thinking in my head right now. His first fight on defense was, again, you didn't prevent the Trace from going in and you didn't duel her out. And then you just died to a good dive. Again, there's no... And you fell off the buildings. So there's a little bit there in early fight about you not doing enough. And then also... Also, yeah, do not doing enough after an advantage or in early fights. Again, links back into the first point a little bit here too. And then second point defense, good jump by a Tracer. Again, didn't out-rotate early enough. Bull grapple shot was kind of pointless. And then, which kind of again means to adapt the playstyle, which I'll mention grapple shot here. Grapple shot, or how you just use your cooldowns in general. And then the fight after that, again, you got jumped by a Tracer. Fight after that, you did actually live quite nicely, but then you grapple shotted when there was a ball going on top of you, or you grappled to the building when a ball could still go onto you. What else on top of that as well? And then third point defense, didn't scout to the right side, could have gone to the high grounds. It's really the safety, I think, is the key thing. It's the safety factor. And I think safety encompasses all the above here, because safety encompasses the comp you're playing against, it encompasses how close you are to a corner, it encompasses how far or the distance you can play from a corner, and a distance you can play from the enemy team too. It encompasses your mobility on the character. It encompasses when you're taking an angle, because if you're taking an angle after the ball has gone out, it's a lot safer compared to, again, beforehand, right? Same thing with Tracer here too. So safety is kind of the big sort of overarching factor, I guess, to this entire idea. And it encompasses, again, distance cover, timings, and how you use your cooldowns in accordance with the comp you're playing against. And third thing, we'll just say awareness. Again, regain after actions, cooldowns, and again, timings. Often too early, I'd say, on the whole. Again, the May fight there was kind of the key example on Soldier. And yeah, when I say regain awareness, I'm sort of meaning to look at your team. What are they doing? Are they engaging? Are they doing anything? And again, I think the important thing here as well is on top of timings, I want to say the more aggressive a play, later needs to be timed. Again, saying from Spilo, that's been fairly old. But yeah. And the opposite's true as well. The later a play, the more aggressive it needs to be. The opposite is also true as well. But yeah. That's going to be it for the three key points on the whole. Any key questions or things do you want to ask?
Not really. Makes all makes sense.
No worries. All right, cool. If you did think of anything, I think I answered some stuff about Mercy a little bit earlier too. Then do feel free to DM me as well. Far